For nearly a decade, the core cast of a flagship reality television franchise held their ground. Then, production intervened. In a single off-season, the network dismantled the ensemble, letting the foundational pieces shatter while leaving one specific player standing. Heading into its 10th season, The Real Housewives of Potomac underwent a brutal casting purge. The network cleared the board of long-standing veterans to make room for what they called new blood. Candiace Dillard-Batch walked away, citing the need for a positive space. Original star Karen Huger was sidelined following a DUI conviction, and Robin Dixon was fired after 8 seasons for withholding the reality of her marriage. Standing in the wreckage of these departures is Ashley Darby. On paper, her position should have been the most precarious. She carried the franchise's most heavily scrutinized and legally complex marriage, a dynamic that often leads to a reality star's dismissal when the cameras focus on the legal fallout. Instead of crumbling under that scrutiny, she converted the dissolution of her marriage from a broadcast liability into a multi-season armor. While the other original stars were removed for their off-camera liabilities, Ashley's position on the roster suggests that a specific type of strategic discipline might be more valuable to the network than the raw vulnerability that led to her peers' exits. When she announced her separation from Michael Darby in April 2022, she did not cleanly sever her life from his. Behind the scenes, the two remained deeply entangled, utilizing a joint LLC structure to purchase a $1.3 million home in Arlington, Virginia. This arrangement perfectly aligned with the domestic relations laws of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Under state statutes, married couples with minor children are required to live continuously separate and apart for a minimum of 365 days before they are legally permitted to file for an uncontested divorce. That mandatory waiting period mapped directly onto Bravo's production calendar. The delay successfully bridged the filming schedules for seasons 7, 8, and 9. By leaning into the slow pace of the legal system, she supplied producers with a loop of tension that didn't require her to expose new personal details. It kept her on the cast without forcing her to reveal the specifics of her final settlement. Even after the divorce was finally signed in 2025, the reality of her ongoing financial reliance on Michael's commercial real estate wealth remained mostly off-camera. She took a standard legal mandate and engineered it into television longevity, using the ambiguity of the court system as armor against termination. Beyond the courtroom, she insulated herself by establishing a massive, independent audience. Instead of relying solely on interpersonal cast fights to secure her job, she cultivated cross-platform dominance. On TikTok, she built a following of over 305,000 people. By comparison, peers like Candiace maintained a footprint of roughly 12,000 followers on the same platform. That digital audience made her a valuable asset to the network's broader corporate structure, translating into casting security and lead roles on spin-off properties like the dating series Love Hotel. When a cast member can reliably drive engagement and cross-pollinate viewers across multiple shows, production is less likely to cut them during a cast reshuffling. This utility gave her the leverage to steer her own narrative, a tactic she used during a season 10 cast trip to Aspen. Rather than discussing the details of her finalized child support arrangements, she engaged in on-camera flirtation with Mauricio Umansky, the estranged husband of a prominent star from the Beverly Hills franchise. The interaction triggered a cross-franchise tabloid event, drawing public condemnation from Kyle Richards, who called the display embarrassing and weird. The resulting media coverage focused almost entirely on this manufactured feud. By feeding the producers a marketable tabloid storyline, she ensured that her actual financial arrangements remained ignored by the cameras. This discipline extends to the end-of-season reunions. She navigates these high-pressure interrogations with precise boundaries, deflecting host cross-examinations and offering just enough surface-level compliance to satisfy production. Her peers struggled with this balance. Robin Dixon was fired after trying to hide the reality of her husband's infidelity behind a paid podcast paywall. The network penalized Dixon for attempting to monetize her reality outside of their control. Conversely, they rewarded Ashley for producing a marketable, highly producible reality directly for their cameras. While Candiace provided an emotional vulnerability that eventually became too exhausting to maintain, Ashley focused on a persona that worked across multiple promotional formats.
The current reality television environment selectively preserves those who can operate as self-aware, corporate-aligned influencers, rather than those who simply live their lives on camera. However, this self-preservation comes at a cost to her credibility with the core audience. Viewers who value raw transparency can clearly see the mechanics of her strategy. To them, her on-screen romances and engineered feuds read as performative maneuvers designed to secure her position and protect Michael Darby's business interests.
But at the institutional level, the executives holding the contracts view this entirely differently. For them, her ability to drive digital metrics while producing legally insulated television is a masterclass in modern contract preservation. By aligning her legal timelines with filming schedules and building a secondary audience on TikTok, she has moved beyond being a simple cast member to becoming a multi-platform asset for the network's parent company. Ashley navigated the Potomac casting cleanout by using the network's demand for producible content as leverage, effectively shifting the power dynamic in her favor. In the modern architecture of reality television, calculated self-preservation has replaced organic vulnerability as the ultimate currency.